right up into the sky. My name is Maya, and I felt very, very small standing next to it. My heart was thumping like a drum. Thump, thump, thump. I had a job interview. It was for a proper office job, the kind my mom always dreamed I would get. I smoothed down my skirt. It was my best one, but it still felt a bit old. I took a deep breath. "You can do this, Maya," I told myself. I pushed the big glass door and walked inside. It was shiny and grand, not like my little flat at all. Inside, everything was white and silver. People rushed past me. They wore sharp suits and shiny shoes. They looked so important. I clutched my bag tightly. A woman at a big desk looked up. She didn't smile. "Can I help you?" she asked. Her voice was cold, like ice. "I'm here for an interview," I squeaked, "for the junior assistant job." She pointed to a row of chairs. "Wait there," she said, and then she looked back at her computer screen. It was like I had disappeared. I felt my cheeks go red. I sat down and tried not to look at anyone. A few other people were waiting. They all looked so clever and confident. A boy in a smart suit was typing on a new laptop. A girl with a fancy briefcase was reading a thick book. They glanced at me. I saw their eyes flick down to my slightly worn shoes, then back up to my nervous face. They looked away quickly, as if I wasn't worth their time. I felt like a little mouse who had wandered into a lion's den. I just wanted to run away, all the way back home to my cozy, safe room. But I couldn't. I needed this job. I really, really needed it. Just before I came in, something happened outside. An old man had tripped on the pavement. His bag of oranges went flying everywhere. The oranges rolled all over the place like little orange footballs. People just walked past. They were too busy. But I stopped. I couldn't just leave him there. I ran to help him. I picked up all his oranges, even the ones that had rolled under a car. He smiled at me, a lovely, wrinkly smile. "Thank you, dear," he said. "You have a good heart." That made me feel a bit better, a tiny bit stronger. I held on to that thought as I sat there waiting. A man called my name. "Maya Patel?" I jumped up. It was time. He led me down a long corridor. My legs felt like jelly. We went into a room with a huge table. Two people were sitting there, a man and a woman. They were the interviewers. They didn't smile much either. "Sit down, Maya," the woman said. Her name was Miss Evans. She looked at my CV. It was just a single piece of paper. I didn't have much to put on it. I had worked in a cafe. I had helped at the local library. That was it. Nothing special. Miss Evans started asking questions. "Why do you want to work here?" she asked. My mind went blank for a second. My palms were sweaty. I took a breath. "Because I want to learn," I said. "I'm a hard worker. I know my CV isn't very long. I haven't been to a fancy university, but I learn quickly. I won't ever be late. I will always try my best, every single day. I just need someone to give me a chance." I looked right at her when I said it. I wanted her to see that I meant it. I really, really meant it. The man, Mr. Harris, asked the next question. "What experience do you have with office software?" he said, looking over his glasses. Oh no, this was the question I was dreading. "Not a lot," I admitted. My voice was small, but I taught myself how to use the computer at the library. I can type, I can do spreadsheets, the basic ones. I know I have a lot to learn, but I promise you, nobody will work harder than me to learn it all. If you show me how to do something once, I won't forget it. I am determined to be good at this. They asked me a few more things. I tried to be honest. I didn't pretend to be someone I wasn't. I told them about organizing the book sale at the library. I told them how I helped the cafe owner with the weekly orders. It didn't sound like much, not compared to the other people waiting outside. They probably had degrees and lots of experience. I was just Maya, plain old Maya. When it was over, Miss Evans said, "Thank you for your time. We'll be in touch." It sounded very final. I knew what it meant. It meant no. I walked out of the big glass building. The sun seemed too bright. I felt a lump in my throat. I had failed. I just knew it. They wanted someone cleverer, someone with more experience, someone with shinier shoes. I walked slowly towards the bus stop. Each step felt heavy. I thought about my mom. She would be so disappointed. She had been so hopeful for me. "This is your big chance, Maya," she had said. I felt like I had let her down. I had let myself down too. A little tear escaped and rolled down my cheek. I quickly wiped it away. I sat at the bus stop and watched the cars go by. I saw the people from the interview leave the building. The boy with the laptop got into a fancy car. The girl with the briefcase smiled and talked on her phone. They looked like they belonged in that world. I didn't. I felt like a little gray sparrow trying to fly with eagles. It was silly to even think I could get a job like that. I should just stick to cafe work. At least there, people were friendly. At least there, I knew what I was doing. The bus came and I got on, feeling empty inside. The journey home felt so long. I stared out of the window, but I didn't really see anything. I just saw the faces of the interviewers, their serious expressions, the way Miss Evans had looked at my simple CV. I had tried my best. I really had. I had been honest and I had been brave, but it wasn't enough. The world wanted more than just a good heart and a promise to work hard. It wanted qualifications. It wanted experience. It wanted things that I just didn't have. I felt so silly for hoping. Hope was a dangerous thing sometimes. When I got back to my flat, I made a cup of tea. I sat on my sofa and hugged a cushion. I didn't want to call my mom yet. I couldn't bear to tell her the bad news. I would wait until tomorrow. Maybe tomorrow I would feel a bit stronger. Maybe tomorrow it wouldn't hurt so much. I closed my eyes and thought about the old man with the oranges, his kind, wrinkly smile. Helping him had been the best part of my day. It was a small, good thing in a day that had felt so big and bad. It was the only thing that made me smile. The next day, my phone rang. I didn't recognize the number. I thought it was probably a sales call. I almost didn't answer it. "Hello?" I said, my voice quiet. "Hello, is this Maya Patel?" a man's voice asked. It sounded friendly. "Yes," I said. "This is Robert Harrison, the CEO of the company you interviewed with yesterday." My heart stopped. The CEO? The boss of the whole company? Why was he calling me? I thought it was to tell me I definitely didn't get the job. I braced myself for the bad news. "I'm calling to offer you the junior assistant position," he said. I nearly dropped the phone. I couldn't believe it. "Me?" I whispered. But my CV. I don't have the experience." Mr. Harrison chuckled. "Maya, a CV doesn't tell the whole story," he said. "Yesterday morning, I was running a bit late. I was watching from my office window when an old man tripped and fell outside. He was my father." I gasped. The old man with the oranges was the CEO's father. I couldn't speak. The CEO continued. "I saw people walk right past him. They were too busy. But you stopped, Maya. You didn't know who he was. You just saw someone who needed help. And you helped him. You were kind. You picked up every single one of his oranges. Then you came in for your interview. My father told me all about the kind young woman who helped him. Miss Evans told me you were honest and determined in your interview. She said you had a wonderful spirit." He paused. "We can teach you how to use office software. We can't teach someone to have a good heart." I was crying now, but they were happy tears. I had got the job. I had got the job because I was me. Because I had stopped to help someone. It wasn't about the fancy suit or the perfect CV. It was about being kind. It was about being a good person. "Yes," I said, my voice full of emotion. "Yes, I accept the job. Thank you. Thank you so much." That day, I learned something very important. Hard work is good. Being determined is good. But kindness? Kindness matters most of all. And sometimes it can lead you to a place you had only ever dreamed of.